Hi, welcome to MURTEC Las Vegas. Everybody excited to be here? Good. I'm Ingo Stork from PreciTaste, Restaurant AI. I started my PhD in machine learning when I still needed to explain everybody what machine learning is. And I think now with the recent advances in generative AI, and I can now chat with AI, and I can do everything with AI and can create art, I think we can see how AI and smartness is going into all different kinds of applications. And just like we nowadays expect a system to have electricity, we're going to expect systems to be smart in the future. And that's what we're realizing here for restaurants. We brought a demonstrator here of a food station AI with us that is going to demonstrate, one station assistant that is using computer vision and depth sensing combined with predictions on what is going to happen. On this screen is the exact same thing what we also showed on the Intel Innovation Show. This was very exciting for us because one of the 5 big tech companies put this application as front and center of their latest Intel Innovation Show. Together with Chipotle, we were showing how this is done in terms of a front assembly line. Everyone knows, you come in, you order, the different ingredients are in these hotel pans. And it's very important to understand how much is in this hotel pan and when do I need to call into the kitchen to have more. Because if I may be at 70% fill level of the chicken, but in order to prepare the chicken, it takes like 20 minutes to cook it and chop it and refill the front line. So we're staying ahead of the curve with this system. And what you see on the top screen is actually a live view of the different hotel pans that you have. This is not visible to the crew. Everything is hidden. We are just showing this live here, and everyone can play with this afterwards as well to see how the different items are being identified. And I can even shuffle around the different hotel pans. So we're actually looking in terms of what do we see in the hotel pan in order to identify it. But we are also, because we're having a depth perception, identifying how much we have. So we might still have 70% of chicken. That's enough in the morning. But when you're running into the busy hour, an experienced linebacker would know, oh, I need to call for more chicken. And this is exactly what this system is doing. It projects what kind of consumptions you're having. These projections can be based on POS data, on weather data, but also on customer traffic and immediate actions that are happening on that day. So we can react to what we are forecasting needs to be there, and then let everyone in the kitchen know what they need to do next. So this is basically like a digital assistant manager that helps to operate the kitchen and guide the crew with on-screen demands to say, okay, we need more chicken now. I'm also very excited that our application won the Kitchen Innovation Award of the National Restaurant Association. So, we can all greet you in Chicago in May, and a very first time we can publicly mention that. So what this system is doing is having cameras that we bring into the kitchen. And these cameras are a dual camera setup that also has, just like we with human eyes have a depth perception. By bringing in 2 cameras in the setup, we have a depth perception on how much we're having. And this is one application example of a station assistant. Now, there are different examples on what we are doing with computer vision. This is just one of them. And they usually all start with a customer journey. So being around for now 10 years, we standardized this customer journey. So we're starting with first digital software that is doing the forecasting and is doing the multitasking management for your restaurant. How this works is you call us, we come in, we deploy our system, and you get a screen, the Preci hub in your restaurant. And then on this Preci hub, you see all the different tasks that are up and that needs to be done next. So we had a restaurant manager who had this deployed at their restaurant, and he described, like, in the morning, he sits there, and instead of people coming to him, and he needs to tell people what they need to do, they're just going to the screen, see their name. Oh, this is what I need to do. I'm marinating now, or I'm doing guacamole, or I'm doing I need to fill up so many chicken nuggets for hot holding. So we're planning the different cooking events and the different restocking and inventory events, everything according to what you need in your kitchen. And from that point, we bring in cameras as well to identify what is, how can we further automate these processes custom tailored to you. And then we're training AI custom tailored on your operations to deliver smartness to your restaurant. We're doing this for a while. Just in the past 24 months, we deployed over 2,000 systems. And we are the only company that is having done that at scale in the kitchen operations. It's a long journey to do something the very first time in one store, or to do this in thousands of stores reliably. So we have done this journey, and all this experience is available to you. And we are now launching the standardized program, which is a plug-and-play program. So we're coming in and we're being effective on day one. Why does this matter? As you know, labor cost is a big challenge. 89% of restaurant owners say, labor cost is a big challenge. So we can help here by automating these repetitive tasks and help, each day. The restaurant manager I was talking about, he identified he has an hour less per day on day one that he needs to work, because people can just come in and follow the screen. But there's another effect that we're seeing, because we have once you need to retrain someone. We measure the cost of $6,000 per crew member if you're losing a crew member, to rehire and also retrain, and then also get them so efficient like the crew member you have just lost. So we're not helping only by retaining more employees. Happier crews also create happier customers. We make this process so simple that starting at your restaurant is as simple as telling people, come in, just follow the screen. This is obviously helping a lot with labor efficiency. It reduces cost. We also see that this has a big impact on quality, because we're only producing items that are needed and cost in cooking to needs. Your inventory is fresher, and this we see in increased quality. Now, it's always difficult to ahead of time assess what's the ROI on quality. The ROI on labor costs is very straightforward, but on quality we can only see on the business cases. And this is where I usually see the best ROIs, because we're driving sales. Customers are more happy, they come back, especially if we're also working on order accuracy. So they don't forget the favorite sauce, and we're actually delivering the product that they were ordering. These drive customer happiness, and they drive sales. And we have seen, on average, with one of our largest clients, a kicker of more than 20% sales increase on the SKUs we are managing. What I'm also very excited about is bringing down the food cost. Food cost is something that is driving a lot of cost and is eating in on the margin and has an economic benefit. But there's also the case and the fact that 40% of the food we are growing in this country is going to the waste bin. And half of that is happening in the food service and retail. So there is enormous CO2 emissions that are happening once you, in order to get the food to the restaurant. Think about all the water is needed for, the crops to grow, to feed the cattle, to bring in a refrigerated line a supply chain to your restaurant. And then your grill operator might just throw it on there because they think they're supposed to be grilling a lot, and this is not the case. And this goes to either to the waste bin or is being sold to customers not fresh anymore. This has a significant impact. If food waste would be a country, it would be, according to the United Nations, the third largest global CO2 emitter. So we're on a mission to bring mathematical optimizations like this in order to match the demand with the supply at the restaurant, because what your crew is doing every day matters. What your crew is doing at scale every day matters. How much burgers they actually pull from the drawer, how much they actually go to the inventory. So all these choices matter, and that's what's also driving us to bring this solution to market as quickly as possible. So we're excited to be at the HP booth at this show. We are looking forward to many discussions in terms of what restaurant AI can do for you, and evaluate on which application is the most the most important for you. And in order to do that, we also brought the PreciTaste team. Dave, maybe you can stand up, and we have Charlie here. The demonstrator will only be available in this room, so please come by and play with it. That's why we brought it. And we also have chocolates here. So, and then later on, we're at the HP booth. Thank you to HP, Dave, and then looking forward to have a lot of conversations on the show.
Great. Well, thank you, Ingo. We'll definitely be by for some of those chocolates. We do have time for questions for all three of our panelists. Yes, four, sorry. Yep, 4. Okay, hold on. I'll share the microphone with you so we can get it slide.
Thank you. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the redundancy measures that you guys have built into working with some of your clients, just so the operators can get a better idea of how reliable is it in live setting?
Great question. First of all, by design, we're an offline first system. So if you have us installed, we're deployed on edge devices that we bring to your system. It will keep on working even if you are not having any internet available. We also optimized for bandwidth. So even if we want to, have certain data available, we can limit data exchange only to off-peak hours or night hours. So there's a lot what we do on the background to, first of all, have a reliable system performance and fast systems performance, even if internet is laggy or not available. And then obviously we're also having a measured approach in terms of the edge devices that we're bringing that are very cost effective to the restaurant. That can be, we are using standard components. HP is a great partner for that, providing reliable systems so that you don't need any special hardware. We can just come in and swap parts if necessary.
Hey, hi, my name is Tim Tang with Hughes. You've deployed this at 2,000 locations, is that correct?
Yes.
And so you've built multiple models. I was wondering if you could speak to what else is, well, first of all, what kind of performance improvements, you were talking about waste and those kind of things, have you seen in the thousands of sites that you've deployed? And then two is, what else is required in order to achieve the cost savings or the ROI that you're looking for above and beyond your technology?
So there are different ROIs, right? So if we bring in the standardized software modules that do the task management, we see that we are lifting a couple percentage points on your labor. Depending on your operations, the results may be a little bit different. Sometimes you're engaging us in order to have some percentage gains on the labor efficiency, sometimes on quality, sometimes on different supply chain issues. And if you're working with us, you're always getting in the beginning a KPI that is individual to you, and that's where we're pushing the needle. And you're getting a dashboard where you see in how much we are doing for you and your individual KPI on that day. And now the second question was like bringing things at scale. I think that's for many computer vision companies a very difficult thing, because each restaurant environment is a little bit different. Each furniture layout may be a little bit different. The tools we use may be a little bit different. Sometimes you have red gloves, sometimes you have blue gloves, sometimes you have these boards. Sometimes even the menu items are different from region to region. The water might be different sometimes, so there are so many differences. And that's where our experience comes in, to first of all have probably the largest data set on kitchen environments in the industry. So we know how to differentiate the different elements in the kitchen from day one. And then we're also learning from the on-site data in order to improve the performance on site. So it starts with like a very general approach, and then the system gets better over some usage at this specific location. So it's a mix of having a generalized model and then also have an auto-trained machine pipeline to improve the individual store model.